You know, the pandemic has had an effect on something rather unexpected, recycling. Maybe because we're spending more time at home, eating, drinking, and cooking, there's more to recycle. But there's also some new stuff to recycle, like certain cleaning products and personal protective equipment, or PPEs. So we headed over to Republic Services to get the ABCs on PPEs. It may just look like trash to the untrained eye, but there is a delicate balance between what you can and cannot recycle. Some things are obvious, like cushions and car parts.
Metal, that disc brake, they're trying to grab that disc brake.
Things that can clog or even severely damage the machinery. But when it comes to smaller items, it's not so clear. And since the COVID-19 pandemic, there is an uptick in recycling of everything, but especially things we haven't had to trash in the past.
We are seeing some things that don't necessarily belong here that are going through the waste stream. Most notably is some types of PPE. We do see some masks, but more often than not, we are seeing the nitrile, latex, or rubber gloves coming through here.
These days, with personal protective equipment being common household items, residents are facing a dilemma of whether to trash or recycle. Jeremy Walters says the wrong decision can cause big problems in this recycling sorting area of Republic Services. One of the biggest culprits, believe it or not, are these innocent-looking gloves.
Specifically with the gloves, I think that the misconception is that they feel like they're plastic, but nitrile, latex, or rubber, they are not recyclable, and because they are flexible in nature, they actually have a tendency to wrap and tangle around the sorting equipment, so they can potentially jam the equipment, make it less inefficient or less efficient. It requires people to physically climb in the machines and cut this stuff out.
Face coverings or masks present another problem that the machinery here at the recycling center is just not equipped to handle.
If they're made out of cloth, if they're made out of, they have some sort of polyethylene liner or plastic liners in them. There are multiple materials, and multiple materials are very difficult to handle. They require very specialized processes, which we do not have here. So these are trash.
Beyond what these items are made out of, what they are made for presents a problem in itself to the safety of the workers.
PPE is designed to keep us safe from germs and other pathogens. If these are used and you're throwing them in the recycling bin, people are here at this center and they're physically sorting through the material, so we don't want them to have to come in contact with this stuff.
But since we're all using more cleaning supplies, once those cartons and containers are empty, they are typically perfectly fine for recycling.
There's a lot of materials that are great for recycling. These rigid plastic jugs, tubs, the wipes themselves are not recyclable, but the tubs themselves are fantastic. Number 2 plastic is very common in detergents and disinfectants, so these are great for recycling. The boxes that your masks come in or your gloves come in, they're paper or cardboard. Those are fine for recycling as well. So we are seeing more of that, which is a good thing. We want to keep these things out of the waste stream, but we got to make sure that we're not throwing the wrong stuff in the bin.
But just as were the requirements before the pandemic, Republic Services asked that residents make sure all containers are empty before going into the recycle bin.
We try to encourage people to practice what we call empty, clean, dry. So if you've got soda cans, soup cans, bleach, detergents, or anything like that, just a quick rinse, a little bit of water, shake it up, and then tap it dry before you toss it in the recycling bin. These things, like paper and cardboard, they're very fragile, and if they get soiled with the food or liquid, they degrade, they break down, and they can't be recycled, so then we have to throw them away.
Whether it's more time spent at home or simply more items to go in the trash and recycle bin, Walter says they've seen more interest and participation in recycling since COVID-19 hit our community. We're having to learn how to do a lot of things differently these days. I guess we just add recycling to that list as well.
We definitely have seen more interest around recycling and recycling the right way. A lot of people are working from home now. They might be working from home for the foreseeable future. More of the family members are also at home, so the responsibilities become shared. And it is a great time for us to brush up on recycling habits, learn what we can recycle, what we can't recycle.
A really great resource for more information is recyclingsimplified.com. If all else fails, most of our recycling bins have pictures right on the lid of what should go in there, such as cardboard, glass, and cans.